So in part one of this video, I kind of just showed all the different Hue bulbs I have installed and kind of where they're at, what lamps are in and stuff like that, and just some of the basic operation. So in part two of this video, I kind of wanted to show you guys how the lights kind of look at night. I wanted to go over some of my favorite apps that I use for controlling the lights, and I just want to show you how I kind of set them up for really easy access on your phone or your tablet. And then I kind of want to go over some other functions you can actually do with the lights, you know, like setting up geofences or alarms and some of the other possibilities that you can do with the Hue lights. But to start, I just kind of wanted to show you, there's a lot of different Hue apps in the store, and show you on my phone here. I have a number of them that I've downloaded. These are just the ones I've kept. There's actually a lot more than that. But to be honest, most of the apps are pretty bad. Really, you know, they're really hard to use or just ugly, and you know, they just duplicate functions. I really only use 4 main apps, and I'm going to demo all of them for you and kind of what I use each of them for. But to start off, I just kind of wanted to show you the basics of the regular Philips Hue app. This is the one that Philips makes. The main thing here is you can set up your scenes. So scenes are basically when you click one of these and it changes all your lights to different colors that they have in that picture that you selected. So you assign bulbs to different colors. So I use a couple scenes. I don't use a ton of different ones. I definitely use a few that I kind of like, and it just depends on what your setup is. But before I get into kind of like the different scenes and stuff, there's a couple things I recommend doing. And the first is you want to sign up for a Hue account. And what that allows you to do is when you go into my app here, you can set up scene sharing on all your devices, and that's important because if you use more than just your phone or a tablet, if you have other people in your house, you want to enable scene sharing, but log into the Hue apps on those different devices with the one account. And that way, every scene you create or changes you make and different scenes you add will all be kind of synced up across all the devices, so everybody has the same controls. I found that's the easiest way to let everybody control the lights and have all the changes go across to all the different devices. So that's one thing. The second thing is there's a couple things you can do with these scenes. Like you can, when you create a scene, you can either take a photo or choose a photo from your library and assign bulbs to it. I find it's a little limiting, but I personally like to use these palettes here, which gives you all the different color options you can do and all the different color temperatures at once. So when you create a scene here in the Philips app, you can go to photo, and then you can choose, not camera roll, but the Philips library. And it has this picture here, but the problem is it's zoomed in for some reason, and the only way to get all the colors in one is to zoom out. And then when you use that, you end up with a cropped photo here, which is kind of weird. I don't know why I do that, but I prefer obviously just to not have that ugly looking cropped thing. But anyway, to get this photo, what you have to do is you just go into you go to my.meethue.com, and then you just grab any one that shows that full color palette. You just go to more details, and then what you do is you just tap and save this image, and then it will be in your photo library, so then you can go ahead and use it. So in your photo library here, now it will just be the full color palette. So now you're ready to set any bulb to any color option that's possible using the Philips Hue lights. So anyway, that's kind of a couple quick setup options I would recommend doing right off the bat. So like I say, you can take pictures, you can download pictures and assign bulbs to that. So I have a few here that I'm going to demo for you, and I'll just show you some quick night shots of that. Like here's this Surf Relax one, so it's a lot of little different purple colors and stuff like that. Here's a you know, Atlanta Hawks, where I just, when it was a Hawks game or something like that, I just used their logo and then sign all my lights to be either like red or white. Well, then this party scene I kind of like, just because I do kind of like all the backgrounds and stuff, colors in this photo. So you're gonna have a few of those, no doubt. You know, so there's all kinds of different scenes you can set up. This is one I was watching Bugs Life, and I took some colors off to try to match what was a lot of the majority colors on the Bugs Life movie. So you can do different kind of fun stuff like that. The main one I use when I have people over and stuff is the one that cycles through all the lights slow and fast. So I'll show you the cool app that I use for that actually. This is the On Switch app. So this is one of my favorite apps here, and I don't use, so you can have all these, you have everyday lighting, and you can kind of pick, gives you these different looks for different bulbs. I don't really use that too much. There's other ones that are, they actually, they'll sell you in-app purchases. You know, you can go to Aurora's $1.99. One with passing clouds, where things kind of flicker a little bit as if clouds are moving over the sun. The effect is okay, but what I really wanted to show you is this one called Color Flows. So you can see in Color Flows here, it's just a really kind of simple screen where you can cycle through to have all your bulbs or specific groups of bulbs kind of pulse through all the colors, either fast or slow, or you can have them all do a single color at the same time and kind of rotate through those. So I'll just show you a couple of the night shots here. You can kind of get an example of what I mean. These night shots will hopefully give you an idea of what it looks like, you know, through these different kind of modes: slow, fast, single, and multicolor. And then there's the pulse, which is a little bit crazy, but I don't use that one too much. The one I use really that I found is kind of the coolest is the slow multicolor, so where all the bulbs just kind of slowly pulse through all the different colors. That's kind of cool, you know, when you have people over. And then the single color fades are look kind of cool too. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what those do. And I'm gonna give you some shots of the bedroom here, using some of these color flows, and just to give you an idea of what the bedroom lights kind of look like. But yeah, that's on switch, and the color flows. I think you'll find these transitions are one of the kind of the coolest settings you can do with the lights, in my opinion, anyway. And of course, you can set brightness here. It has the brightness slider here, so you can adjust that really easy. And like I said, you can do groups. So if you only want specific rooms or groups of lights or lamps to be doing your different color flows, you can do that. So it's kind of cool. You can set multi ones, so you can have the bedroom doing one thing and then the living room doing another if you wanted to set it up like that. So it's pretty flexible too, and simple, so that's important. The only thing I do wish it had, I wish it had a slider to adjust the actual speed, so it doesn't have that, unfortunately, but no big deal. It's still a nice app. So that's color flows in the on switch app, which is actually a free app, so it's pretty nice. There's a couple options you can do now. A lot of people use this Philips Hue app to control everything, but I find it a little bit cumbersome to go into this app every time. You have to unlock your device, find the app, launch the app, see where you're at, you know, pick a scene or something, or if you're in one of these menus and you have to go back to the scene. Anyways, long story short, it's a lot of button presses. There is one really cool option you can do, which is what I use, and it's called widgets. So you want to, here in the widget, you just, after you create all your scenes, you go to your widgets, you select the scenes that you want to appear in your widgets. And what widgets is, it's just in the pull down notification, at least in iOS. I'm not sure how it is on Android. But here you can see these are all the scenes I selected, and you can see obviously you have the all off real quick. So if you want to just turn all your lights off no matter where you are, let's say you're in another app like, you know, Chrome or something, and you want to turn lights off real quick, just pull it down, hit all off, and all your lights will turn off. Obviously you can do all on. You can set any scene, so just quickly being able to do that is really convenient. I find using the widgets the best way to set up. So now sometimes what you want to do is you might want to adjust the brightness kind of really quickly, or you might want to turn off a set of lights really fast, or a lamp, one particular lamp off. So what you do is, what I do is I use this other app called Hue Widget, and it's a free app. But I'll just show you. What you do is you just set up a group, and then for IKEA lamp, all the lights in the IKEA lamp, or kitchen, all the lights in the kitchen. And what that allows you to do after you set up your group is pull this down, and then here you have a Hue Widget controls, which allows you to turn everything on, everything off, which is a little redundant, I know, or set random lights. But more importantly, you can set your brightness levels. So let's say you had this blue rain kind of scene going on, and you wanted to, you like the scene, but you want to dim it, so you can hit the 50% button. So what it is 10%, 50%, 75%, and 100% brightness levels. So really quick access to brightness levels, which is one of the main things you'll do with the Hue, with any lights really, right? You want to either turn them on or off, or you want to set brightness levels. So you can do that. Also, you can do it for all lights or the individual groups you have here. So let's say you want to just say, oh, I just want to turn the bedroom off even though everything else is on, so you just do that. I want to turn the kitchen off, you know, or you want to turn the living room to be random lights or medium brightness, but turn the bedroom back on. So it just gives you full control in two simple widgets right at the top of your pull down screen. So I found that that is really the best way to control the Hue lights, the combination of those two apps. But you know, so once you have those two apps set up, I want to show you how easy it is to just control your lights. So just say you're holding your phone in your hand, you know, and you want to switch your lights on or something. You just pull it down, and then you have your access right there. So you can see it looks pretty good on the phone too. You know, really quick to get to. And then full controls of all your lights right here with your thumb. So really, really cool. One of my favorite features is using these widgets. And then I want to show you Hue Mote. I use this when I want to just quickly kind of control bulbs. I find it a little bit easier than using the regular Philips Hue light, although it does kind of a similar thing. So what you have here is just a list of all your bulbs, and you can edit and arrange and put them in any order you want. But what's cool is it's really easy. So you can just set the dimness, brightness levels real quick. So that's a lot easier than going to the Philips, the Hue app, because in there you kind of have to click on each bulb to see what the name is. Here you just have a list of all your bulbs really fast, and then you just turn them on. So you can just turn them on and off just by hitting that. And then once they're on, you just adjust the brightness. And then simply, if you want to adjust the color, you tap that, pick your color, and then you're done. So I've found that this is the best app for just quickly controlling individual bulbs. But anyway, those are my 4 favorite apps. I want to show you in the Philips Hue app, there's a thing called geofencing. So what geofencing does is you can set your lights to turn on or off when the app detects that you are within a certain GPS location. So you can set it to arrive, and then basically when you come within a distance of your house, you can have it turn on a scene. So you can have, say, all your lights turn on, and then save it. And then when GPS detects that you're in that area, all your lights will turn on. You can also set it for leaving, so once you leave a set specific geofenced area, it will turn all your lights off. So that's kind of neat. So that's geofencing. And then you can also obviously set alarms and stuff like this. So what you can do is you can set up an alarm, just choose one of the scenes to come on at that specific alarm time. So that's kind of neat. And then the final app I want to show you is if you're familiar with an app called If This Then That. This IFTTT. What you can do is within this app you can set up certain things. They're called recipes. Now what you can do is so here you can, I don't know if you can read that, but you can do all these kind of things. So you can say you know, automatically turn your lights on when you arrive home. Same thing as geofencing. If you receive an email from a specific address, then you can blink certain lights to notify you. So if you had important emails, you can select, let's say, just want to have one of the kitchen lights blink. So If This Then That allows you to do all kinds of stuff. And like I say, I don't really use any of these, but I know this is possible because I've kind of messed around with them, but I don't actively use them. And you get new email alert. You can get flashlights with every in-game update of your favorite team. You can have certain lights turn on and flash if you get tagged in Facebook. So you just have to link up Facebook and your Hue app. So that's kind of the last thing I wanted to show you as far as interesting different things you can do with the Hue lights and app. I almost forgot to mention there's actually one type of app that I didn't talk about, which are music related apps. So you know, there's a few apps out there that are supposed to be able to use the microphone, like Hue Disco is one, and what it does is it listens to your microphone in the background and it changes all your lights based on the music. You know, whatever music you're playing, it's meant to kind of change and pulse your lights and stuff to the tempo, change the color and everything like that. But what happens is it doesn't really work very well because first of all there's lag and delay because it has to listen to it, and then by the time it listens to it, the song's already on the next beat. You know, it just doesn't really work very well. So there is one app actually that it's called Amplify, and what this does, it actually reads the track ahead of time. So from your music library, have the music on your device, and it has to be through your iTunes library. And what does it anyways, it reads the music file beforehand and then kind of sets your lights, so it already knows what beats are going to come. So that actually works really well. But unfortunately, since the new iOS like 8.4 with Apple Music, the app doesn't really work anymore, which is kind of a bummer. So in the end, I really think the Philips Hue lights are an awesome product. Obviously it's pretty expensive, you know, but there's a lot of things you can do with them. It's really nice to be able to, you know, just get into bed, go to sleep, and not have to worry about switching off a bunch of lights before getting into bed, or just being able to control my lights period from my phone is super convenient, and I think it's well worth having. A lot of the bulbs are rated at, you know, 630 lumens like I mentioned, and they are going to be coming out with their 800 lumen bulbs. The regular A19 bulb right now is only 600, so it's going to be 33% brighter. We'll see when those come out, but I did see that they should be coming out with those Generation 2 bulbs pretty soon. I saw that article on Slash Gear just last month. So keep an eye out for those. But yeah, definitely a product worth exploring or upgrading to, in my opinion. I've been really happy with mine. But that's all I really have to say. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Take care.